Coming up on this week's news, Michigan's DOT director warns budget cuts could impact bond payments. A new interchange will soon bring traffic relief to drivers in Maine, while construction headaches take drivers out of their way in Florida. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's update of all that's coming down the pike. We begin this week with a quick traffic update that will affect you at the West Palm Beach Service Plaza on Florida's Turnpike. Officials are closing the northbound return ramp from the plaza to the Turnpike during the overnights this week from about 10 p.m. until 6 the following morning. Night owls and haulers will need to leave the plaza going southbound, exit about 1 mile away at Lake Worth Road, then get back onto the Turnpike northbound using the northbound entrance ramp at Lake Worth. Again, this will affect the northbound entrance ramp to Florida's Turnpike from the West Palm Beach Service Plaza during the overnights this week through Friday morning. A construction worker in New York was killed by a hit-and-run driver in the past week while working on one of the city's expressway projects near the John F. Kennedy Airport. The New York State Department of Transportation posted news of the incident on their Facebook page late last week, noting the worker was a contract employee who was killed while directing traffic as part of the Van Wyck Expressway construction project. The Van Wyck Expressway is part of I-678, which connects directly to the Whitestone Expressway and the Bronx-Whitestone Bridge. The incident in question happened Wednesday, the 18th. New York City police were able to apprehend the suspected hit-and-run driver later in the day. Neither the deceased worker's name nor the suspect's name has been released. Director of Michigan's Department of Transportation, which does oversee some of the toll bridges in the state, took the unusual step of releasing a statement expressing deep concerns about the $78.5 billion budget proposal currently working its way through the Michigan House. Bradley Wieferich issued a statement from Michigan's capital in Lansing last week, saying proposed budget cuts to his department will, quote, prevent MDOT from responding adequately to dangerous road conditions and infrastructure damage, putting Michiganders and their vehicles at risk. Wieferich noted the loss of hundreds of millions of dollars in federal grant money under the Trump administration, as well as increases in expenses due to higher construction costs, are leaving the agency sorely deficient in its ability to meet obligations under the proposed budget, which could have the potential to impact bond repayment funding. Like their federal counterparts in Washington, lawmakers in Michigan are working on an October 1 deadline. We'll keep you posted of further developments. Briefly this week, an expanded section of the Love's Travel Stop at the Topeka Service Plaza on the Kansas Turnpike is set to open in October. The travel stop itself has been open since 2020, but the expansion will add a new tire service center to the plaza, as well as an all-important dog park for everyone's best traveling friends. The Kansas Turnpike Authority announced completion of the construction in their September construction update, noting that employees are preparing for the opening in October. A new interchange on the Maine Turnpike in Saco could be set for an earlier November opening than expected. Final construction of the new exit number 35, is due to wrap up by November 21st. That's a few days ahead of schedule that was originally planned out in 2022. The date has appeared consistently on the monthly construction updates posted by the Maine Turnpike, and a possible Thanksgiving weekend opening was reported in the past week by Toll Roads News. A reminder this week of a trio of important dates in the next week. One is this week's deadline to sign up for the first webinar of the new commercial webcast series for the Gordie Howe Bridge. That's the new international crossing between Detroit, Michigan and Windsor, Ontario. It's slated to open this fall. The Windsor-Detroit Bridge Authority announced September 26th was the deadline to sign up for the webinar. That's this Friday, by the way. It begins with a 1-hour presentation that will happen on noon, October 2nd. Again, sign up for this new series is Friday the 26th for the October 2nd presentation. Remember, tolls begin at the end of the month in Washington State for the new SeaTac connector, which is the 509 Expressway. Tolls are due to begin Monday the 29th. They are dependent on the time of travel as well as the direction of travel. The first segment of the State Road 509 Expressway opened June 28th between I-5 and 24th Avenue South, as you can see in this animation. Finally this week, a final reminder. The Garcon Point Bridge in the Pensacola area goes cashless after this week. The toll plaza is being removed and a cashless gantry will be in place by the start of next week, according to state officials in Florida, which has been pushing toward all electronic tolling statewide for about 10 years. The state is getting near to completing that goal, however. Again, the Garcon Point Bridge will be completely cashless by the 28th of September. That is this Sunday. We'll be back next week with new and continuing updates, so thanks for watching and listening once again this week. Please drive safely and remember to avoid distracted driving. I'm Danny Pryor reporting for Turnpikes.com, the Turnpike Authority.